Hello students, welcome back to your science class. In the previous class, we have seen about metals and non-metals. First, we have seen about the physical properties of metals and non-metals. We have seen about the physical properties such as luster, color, hardness, malleability, ductility, thermal conductivity and electrical conductivity. Malleability is the property by which the metals can be beaten into thin sheets, and ductility is the property by which the metals can be drawn into thin wires. Then we have seen about the sonority. Metals, they striken with a hard substance, it will produce a ringing sound. So, the property by virtue of which metal objects produce a ringing sound when stuck with a hard object is called sonority. So, these are the major physical properties we have seen that day. So, what about non-metals? Non-metals are non-lustrous, soft, non-malleable, non-ductile and they are non-sonorous. They are the poor conductors of heat except diamond, and they are the poor conductors of electricity except graphite. Then we have seen an activity as well as we have seen about the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Regarding the chemical properties of metals, first of all we have seen about the reaction of metals and non-metals with oxygen. Metals, when they combine with oxygen to give metal oxides, and non-metals also when they combine with oxygen to give their non-metallic oxides. Example, carbon reacting with oxygen, we will get the carbon dioxide, and metals such as sodium reacts vigorously with oxygen to give sodium oxide. The next we have seen about the reaction of metals with water. Metals when reacts with water, we may get two substances such as metal hydroxide and hydrogen gas, and also some metals they react with water to give metal oxide and hydrogen gas. Example, when sodium reacts with cold water, it will produce a lot of heat and hydrogen gas is liberated to give sodium hydroxide. Also copper, silver, gold, they do not react with water in any situation. So they are used for making utensils, ornaments, etc. Okay. The next important thing we have seen is about corrosion. So what is mean by corrosion? The process of slow wearing away of a metal due to the attack of atmospheric gases and moisture on its surface is called corrosion. Then we have seen about the tarnishing of silver spoon. Silver spoon, when it is exposed in air, it will change into black color, or the silver color will change into black color. What is the reason of this? That is, the silver reacts with the gas present in the atmosphere to get a blackened surface. Then we have seen about copper coated objects or copper utensils will get a green layer. What is the reason for this? Because copper reacts with the carbon dioxide present in the atmosphere to produce copper carbonate, that is greenish layer of copper carbonate is formed. So these are the things we have seen on that day. Then we have seen a activity also. Then we have learned about the uses of metals and non-metals. Iron is the most commonly used metal in the world. Then we have seen about what is an alloy. Then we have seen the uses of copper. Copper is used in making cooking utensils, integrated circuits, electromagnets, cable wires or electrical wires. Then aluminum is used in so many house utensils as well as building materials, sheets, rods, doors, window frames, etc. Even also in the packaging of food items. Then zinc is used in galvanization process. Mercury is used in thermometers, barometers. Then lead is used in car batteries. Gold, silver, platinum are used in making jewelry. Then non-metals such as diamond is used for cutting and drilling tools. and graphite is used as a good conductor of electricity. That's why it is used in zinc carbon batteries. Then hydrogen is used in the synthesis of ammonia. Sulfur is used in the hardening of rubber. Then silicon is used for making microchips. Then phosphorus is used in matchsticks and fireworks. Then nitrogen gas is used for making ammonia and nitrate, then fertilizers, etc. Oxygen is used by the mountain climbers and deep sea divers as breathing equipment. Then also oxygen used with acetylene to get oxyacetylene torches, and it is used for welding and cutting metals. So these are the things we have seen in the previous classes. Today I am going to start a new chapter, that is combustion and fossil fuels. What is meant by combustion? Before going to see that combustion, when fire is burning or when a candle is burned, then if you make fire with coal, use of coal, and or if you burn the stove, gas stove, LPG gas stove, what will happen? What will you see? When these are burned, we will get a lot of fire. So the fire will produce heat and light. So the things that are produced when a substance burns is heat and light. So in this lesson we are going to see about the process of combustion. So what do you mean by process of combustion, or what do you mean by combustion? Combustion is a process in which a fuel is burned, or if a substance is burned to produce heat and light. So combustion is a process in which heat and light is produced when it is burned, when a substance is burned. So for example, we can say all fossil fuels, when it is burned, we will get heat and light. Then if coal or petroleum or natural gas or LPG gas, these are the substances that will produce fire, or this will produce heat and light when it is burned. So we can say these substances as combustible substances. So what do you mean by combustion? The process of burning of a substance in the presence of air or oxygen with the liberation of heat and light is called combustion. Now, according to the burning ability, we can divide the substances into two types. First one is combustible substances and non-combustible substances. What do you mean by combustible substances? The substances that burn in air or oxygen to produce heat and light are called combustible substances. Can you say some examples for combustible substances? Examples are paper, wood, kerosene and LPG gas. When a paper is burned, you will see that light and heat is produced. It will emit heat and light. So we can say paper, like that way wood, kerosene, LPG, everything we can call as combustible substances. Now what are non-combustible substances? Substances that do not burn in air or oxygen to produce heat and light are called non-combustible substances. Example for non-combustible substances are water, sand, glass, cement. Now let us see about the types of combustion. Can you say the types of combustion, students? Okay. Now there are three types of combustion. There are three types of combustion. First one is rapid combustion, second one is explosion, third one is spontaneous combustion. So rapid combustion, explosion, and the third one is spontaneous combustion. Now what is meant by rapid combustion? Suppose if a substance is burning, okay, so at that time if a large amount of heat and light are produced in very short time, then that process we will call as rapid combustion. So what do you mean by rapid combustion? The combustion in which a large amount of heat and light are released in a very short span of time are called rapid combustion or is called rapid combustion. For example, suppose if your LPG gas stove or if your LPG gas cylinder is fitted with the stove and it is burned, so it will produce a lot of heat and light instantly. That is, as soon as it is burned, it will produce light and heat, enormous amount of light and heat. So we can call this type of combustion as rapid combustion. Then the second type is explosion. What do you mean by explosion? All of you would cracked fireworks or you have burned firecrackers during the Deepavali season, is it not? So when a cracker or when a firecracker is burned, what we will feel? What do you observe there? You will see that it will produce a lot of sound as soon as it is lit. That is, it will produce a big sound or it will produce a explosion sound. Okay, so this type of combustion we can call as explosion. So what do you mean by explosion? The type of combustion by which a sudden release of heat, light and sound is accompanied by the liberation of a large amount of gas is called explosion. So explosion is a type of combustion that is characterized by the sudden release of heat, light, sound that is accompanied by the liberation of large amount of gas. Okay, can you say examples for this? The bursting of firecracker is an example of explosion. Okay, so sometimes this explosion can also occur due to the application of pressure. Okay, so explosion is a type of combustion that is characterized by a sudden release of heat, light and sound that is accompanied by the liberation of a large amount of gas. So this is the second type of combustion we have seen. So the first one is rapid combustion, the second one is explosion. Now the third one is spontaneous combustion. What is meant by spontaneous combustion? If a substance catches fire automatically without applying any heat or pressure, it is called spontaneous combustion. So what do we mean by spontaneous combustion? The combustion in which the substance catch fire of their own without the application of heat is called spontaneous combustion. Example of spontaneous combustion is, have you seen white phosphorus? When this white phosphorus is kept open, it will react with the air or it will catch fire as soon as it is kept open in room temperature itself. So this is an example for spontaneous combustion. Like that way we can take examples of combustion of hydrocarbons, that is LPG gas, petrol, natural gas. These are all examples of combustion, spontaneous combustion. Now in this spontaneous combustion we have two types, that is complete combustion and incomplete combustion. So let us see about what is complete combustion. What do you mean by complete combustion? Complete combustion is a process in which combustion takes place in adequate amount of air or oxygen. So if suppose sufficient amount of air or oxygen is supplied, then that combustion is called as complete combustion. Now this combustion results in the formation of carbon dioxide, water, heat and light. So with light and heat, water and carbon dioxide are released in complete combustion. At the same time, if a combustion takes place in inadequate amount of air or oxygen, it is called incomplete combustion. Now this incomplete combustion results in the formation of carbon monoxide, water, soot, heat and light. So this is about incomplete combustion. The combustion which takes place in inadequate amount of air or oxygen is called incomplete combustion. So today we have seen about what is combustion, what are the three types of combustion. Now first of all we will see about the conditions necessary for combustion. What are the conditions necessary for combustion, students?
First of all, combustion is possible only if a combustible substance is present. So, what is meant by combustible substance? If a substance catches fire very easily and produce heat is called combustible substance. So, first of all we need a combustible substance. Second one is presence of supporter of combustion. The adequate supply of supporter of combustion is essential for combustion. What is that supporter of combustion? We can say the gas oxygen or air is a supporter of combustion. The next one is the substance should attain ignition temperature. That is attainment of ignition temperature. Before going to this, we have to know about what is meant by ignition temperature. What is ignition temperature? The temperature at which a particular substance burns in the presence of air is called ignition temperature. The temperature at which a particular substance burns in the presence of air is called ignition temperature. So, the lowest temperature at which a particular substance catches fire in the presence of air is called ignition temperature. So, a substance start to burn only after it has attained a certain minimum temperature. So, that ignition temperature should it should attain. Then, the substance cannot catch fire if its temperature is lower than the ignition temperature. So, these are the conditions needed for the combustion process. First one is presence of combustible substance. Second one is presence of supporter of combustion. Third one is attainment of ignition temperature. Now, next we shall see about what are inflammable substances. The substances which catch fire very easily, they are called inflammable substances. So, the substances such as alcohol, petrol, LPG and nylon fibers, they catch fire very easily. And these substances have low ignition temperatures. Such substances we call as inflammable substances. Now, what are inflammable substances? Substances such as alcohol, petrol, LPG and natural gas catch fire very easily and they have low ignition temperature. Such substances are called inflammable substances. Now, these inflammable substances, when it is stored and transported, a special care should be taken. Have you watched that lorry, container lorry having a hydrogen gas, that is LPG gas, which is when it is transported, the container lorry will be having the word, that is sentence, inflammable. So when a container lorry, gas stove lorry is going, you can see that the letters written there is inflammables. What is the meaning of that? That is the substance or the gas which is present in the container, it will catch fire very easily, so that it should not be disturbed. That's why it is written like that. Okay. So today we have seen about what is combustion. Combustion is a process of burning of a substance in the presence of oxygen or air with the liberation of heat and light. Then next we have seen about combustible substances, that is substances that burn in air or oxygen to produce heat and light. Example, paper, wood, kerosene, LPG gas. Then Inflammable substances. What are inflammable substances? Substances that catch fire very easily and have low ignition temperature. Example, petrol, alcohol, LPG and synthetic fibers or nylon fibers. Then we have seen about non-combustible substances. That is the substances that do not burn in air or oxygen to produce heat and light are called non-combustible substances. Example, water, sand, glass and cement. Then we have seen the types of combustion, that is rapid combustion, explosion and spontaneous combustion. Rapid combustion is a process in a type of combustion in which large amount of heat and light are produced within a short span of time. Then example, combustion of LPG gas produces lot of heat and light. Then explosion is a sudden release of heat and light followed by sound with the liberation of large amount of gas. So that is called explosion. Example, bursting of firecrackers. Then spontaneous combustion is the process in which substances catches fire of their own without the application of heat. Example, white phosphorus when it is exposed in air catches fire at room temperature. So we have seen about the three types of combustion. Next we have seen about complete combustion and incomplete combustion. Complete combustion will take place in adequate amount of oxygen or air and it forms carbon dioxide, water, heat and light. Incomplete combustion takes place in inadequate amount of air and oxygen and it forms carbon monoxide, soot, water, heat and light. Then we have seen about the conditions necessary for combustion. That is, the first condition is there should be a combustible substance present and it needs a supporter of combustion and the substance should attain ignition temperature. So these are the conditions necessary for combustion. Then we have seen about a definition called inflammable substance. Petrol, alcohol, LPG and nylon fibers that catch fire very easily and they have low ignition temperature and these substances are called inflammable substances. So I think you would have learned or you would have listened to the class very nicely and you would have understood. If you have any doubt, you can ask the doubt through the comment box. Okay, that's all children. Thank you.